So being a big horror fan, what was some of the stuff that you took into working at Sharknado too?
I try to sneak as much gore we can in it, but we got to be. You only have so much gore you can do that's practical. I come from practical, like I did make practical makeup effects, and I like doing in-camera stuff. But you can't do a lot of that in a Sharknado movie because you have sharks doing things you can't physically do. But we did, like in the first movie, we built a practical set in the swimming pool and we flooded it, which I thought was great. We tried doing it in this one, it didn't work out because we were in New York and didn't have time. But the opening of the movie, it's an homage to Twilight Zone. I mean, there's a lot of like nice little references. I think the subway car sequence is really fun. I wanted to try to make some scarier moments, but it's hard to do that with this stuff. It's an action movie and it's got comedy. So, but Jaws is the pinnacle of horror movies. And it's a great film. And, you can't touch that, but you're doing your own spin on things. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Totally.
Now, in the second one, you have some amazing guest stars, and they're all playing like iconic versions of their iconic characters. Like,
yeah.
Which came first? Did you get the actors wanted to do it, or did you write them hoping?
The taxi cab, Judd Hirsch, the taxi cab driver. I think originally we were thinking we wanted Henry Winkler only because we have a Jump the Shark reference around there.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. But then they go, who do you want for this role? I'm going, let's get Judd Hirsch, get someone from Taxi, and then suddenly we had Judd Hirsch. Oh my God, that man is amazing. He's like, I think he's 79 maybe, and we were changing things left, right. He's used to rigid TV, like people like this dialogue needs to be this way, and we're like, hey, let's block shoot like 12 pages of dialogue and let's change it all like an hour before we start shooting. And he was like a viper, nailed it. And I would throw lines off the walkie-talkie because we were on a process where like, hey Judd, say this. There was the line about the Jersey thing where he goes, you can't get a chainsaw in Manhattan, you have to go to Jersey for that. And I was doing that, going, say this, Judd. And then he goes, you don't want to go to Jersey for that. And he just nailed it. And it was all like literally spur of the moment, but when you have someone that good there, and then the pilot bit at the beginning of the movie, we were originally thinking Shatner and Lithgow because it was an homage to the Twilight Zone. And then we go, what about Robert Hayes? That would be really cool. And he did it. He agreed to it. That was a blast. So there was some of that, and then there's things where the night before you'd get a call going, hey, this person wants to be in the movie, write something for them. Like, okay. And then you got to find a way to write it. I mean, it's a living organism every day. You go out to set, you have 18 days to shoot a movie like this. We shot it in February, we delivered it in June, have over 700 visual effects. Try that, Superman. There's no way to, say what you will about these movies, whether you hate it or love it or it's rough around the edges, but we pulled off the impossible on both movies. I think that's part of the fun of the film, because it's not perfect, it's not planned to a T. So there's room for things to happen organically.
So what's your favorite shark move in the new one?
I love the thing where Ian is on the fire truck and he slices the shark in half. That we needed something special, and Ian goes, I'm gonna do this thing, and I'm looking at it going, that's really phallic, Ian. It's like, no, I don't know if I. It's like, but it worked. It worked really well, and the CG animator Dennis. He did the shot originally, and it was just kind of a clean slice, and I guess he went to like some Discovery Channel store, and he found a half shark where all the internal organisms, like how they really are. And so he started obsessing about this, and he came back where you see the full real anatomy of what the inside of a shark is based because he just got inspired. And that's the fun too. The CG guys are our partners in this. They'll tell us what they can do or can't, but then they give you bonus things you would never expect, and that's kind of cool too. They had less than 2 months to deliver all those shots. And there's some damn good shots in this movie.
How exciting is it for you that this is screened around the world at the same time? I mean, I know it's coming on at 4 o'clock in Germany in the morning.
It's nuts! Last year we thought no one would watch the movie. We thought stoners would be sitting there lighting up, and that would be our audience because it was a weird film. It's like the perfect stoner movie, and everybody embraced us. And now we're worldwide. Again, think about this. I mean, the first movie, we didn't have a marketing budget. We didn't have like people just showed up and found us. And now we're like this big TV event next week. That's cool. I mean, as a filmmaker, you know, there's a lot of people that go, oh, I hate the movie, oh, it's so bad, so good. It doesn't matter. Look, I'd rather have the movie be totally polarizing and have people watch it than 10 people say, I loved your movie, and then no one else sees it. This is great. I mean, and we made a fun little movie, and people are embracing it. So the fact that we got the worldwide, and it happened last time really quickly. It like started rolling out, so everybody getting a day and date, I think is going to be great.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to watch the premiere with friends, or?
We haven't decided yet. We keep talking about doing something in Los Angeles, so we just haven't figured it out yet. Got a lot of stuff to figure out in a week, but we just finished the DVD and Blu-ray, so I've still been living this movie. I just QC'd the movie like 2 days ago, so I'm kind of sick of it. So it'd be nice now to kind of actually sit in an audience and watch it with people, and not go, oh, wait, there's a frame, we got to fix that. It's like just to see if everything works. We did that with the critics a couple weeks ago, and that was awesome. It's like, wow, there were things that actually we got responses to in the end, but in editing, it's like, I don't think it's going to play, and it played. So.
Last question.
I saw a quote, you did an interview, and you talked about the hysteria that surrounded the making of the film in New York City, comparing it to the Avengers film, and like how, not to that level, but compared to the first movie, the Sharknado.
What I meant by that was that the first movie we were shooting in Los Angeles, no one could care less we were making this movie. I mean, we could roam around and get plate shots in LA, no one cared. But when we were in New York, the first day we were shooting outside the hotel, there were like people lining up around, paparazzi fans, and it was just like we were shooting a studio movie, and that was when we realized that there was a lot of people interested in this, just outside of the people that we thought were just our fan base, and that was hard too, because now we're having to shoot around instead of the bad weather. From the first, or the perfect weather in the first movie, we're shooting around paparazzi. That whole taxi cab sequence with the water, if you look at the angles, it's trying to avoid the people surrounding us on the streets. So that was why it was just really weird. You know, we couldn't go anywhere without people following us taking photos. And so we actually had to change things in the script so we wouldn't reveal things that happened later. Something happens to Tara, we pushed that off onto a stage day. It was supposed to happen in the middle of the movie because we knew if we went out on set with that, it would have been spoiled. So, thank you guys so much.